Why smart people stay broke, according to psychology. You know what's wild? The valedictorian is working for the C student. The guy who aced every exam is struggling to pay rent. And the woman who everyone said was going places hasn't gone anywhere in 6 years. That's not a coincidence. That's psychology. See, we've been sold this idea that intelligence is the ticket. Study hard, get smart, get rich. But the data, and I mean actual psychological research, tells a completely different story. Smart people aren't broke because they lack information. They're broke because of how their brain works against them. And nobody's talking about this. Let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus graduated top of his class. Full scholarship, economics degree from a school you've definitely heard of. He could break down the Federal Reserve's monetary policy at a dinner party. And at 34, he had $11 in his checking account. Not a typo. $11. When his therapist asked him why Marcus said something that stopped her cold, he said, "I always thought if I just understood it better, it would click." That sentence right there? That's the trap. Or psychologists call it overchoice or sometimes analysis paralysis. The smarter you are, the more variables you see. You see every risk, every downside, every what if. A less informed person looks at a business opportunity and says, "Let's go." A highly intelligent person looks at the same opportunity and spends 8 months building a spreadsheet. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner, one of the greatest minds in behavioral economics, called this the difference between System 1 and System 2 thinking. Wealth, historically, rewards action over analysis. The market doesn't wait for your spreadsheet to be perfect. The imposter intelligence paradox. Here's the one that'll sting a little. Smart people are more susceptible to imposter syndrome, not less. Because the smarter you are, the more you realize how much you don't know. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect, in reverse. The people who know the least are the most confident. The people who know the most are paralyzed by their own awareness of the gaps. So the Harvard-educated analyst hesitates to launch her consulting firm, while her college dropout neighbor just posts on Instagram, lands 3 clients, and pays off his truck. Confidence, not credentials, is the currency of early wealth. Now here's one that sounds backward. You've heard of the Stanford marshmallow test, right? Kid waits to eat the marshmallow, gets to later. Delayed gratification, big predictor of success. Smart people are incredible at delayed gratification, almost too good. They delay buying the course, "I'll invest when I have more saved." They delay starting the business, "I'll launch when the timing is right." They delay asking for the raise, "I'll wait until my review in 6 months." They are delaying themselves into a life that never starts. There's a difference between patience and permanent postponement. And smart people, more than anyone, confuse the two. But here's the real psychological villain in this story. It's not intelligence, it's identity. Deep down, many smart people have unconsciously attached their self-worth to figuring things out, not to doing things. As long as they're still learning, still researching, still planning, they can't fail, because they haven't tried yet. The research, the podcasts, the books, they feel like progress, but they're sometimes just a very sophisticated form of hiding. So what changes it? Not more information. You've got information. What changes it is what psychologists call behavioral activation. You act first, and the confidence follows. Not the other way around. The most financially successful people in America, and study after study backs this up, aren't the ones who knew the most. They're the ones who got comfortable being wrong in public. Elon Musk has been wrong, loudly, in front of millions of people, multiple times. Sarah Blakely pitched Spanx, while knowing almost nothing about manufacturing. Mark Cuban lost money badly before he made it spectacularly. The common thread isn't IQ. It's the willingness to be in motion. So if you're smart, driven, and still not where you want to be financially, I want you to ask yourself one honest question tonight. Am I learning or am I hiding? Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't filled with more knowledge. It's filled with messy, imperfect, terrifying action. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you do with it. And that's something no degree can teach you. So if you're smart, driven, and still not where you want to be financially, I want you to ask yourself one honest question tonight. Am I learning or am I hiding?